I will kick things off and let everybody kind of settle in. And we're going to talk briefly about the Lake Anna Advisory Committee and that body's annual State of Lake Anna report. I currently serve as the chairman of that body, and Supervisor Kevin Marshall is the vice chairman, supervisor for Spotsylvania County. So the Lake Anna Advisory Committee, also known as LAAC, L-A-A-C, was established in 1994 as a joint administrative committee by 3 counties surrounding Lake Anna: Spotsylvania, Louisa, and Orange, along with Dominion Energy, to address matters of joint interest pertaining to the lake and adjacent shorelands. Its purposes are spelled out in the 3-county cooperative agreement and the LAAC bylaws. To accomplish these objectives and oversee operations, the board includes 9 members, a supervisor from each county, 2 citizen representatives from Louisa and Spotsylvania, and 1 from Orange, and a Dominion Energy representative. The stated purpose of LAAC are to promote cooperation and coordination among the local governing bodies and Virginia Power, that was dated language, it's Dominion Energy, on issues concerning Lake Anna, to develop recommendations for new and revised ordinances or legislation, specifically addressing the needs, issues, and/or problems behind the lake and the watersheds of Lake Anna, and designated by local governments. That's problems involving Lake Anna, its shoreline, and shoreline area found behind the lake. Number 3, to promote planning and management for land, water, and other natural resources and environmental quality maintenance. Number 4, to administer the on-lake marker program to include no wake hazard and similar buoys. To promote research, control, and/or eradication of undesirable aquatic weeds in Lake Anna, and to improve the quality of the water and to control pollution in and around Lake Anna. And number 6, to initiate discussions with all local, state, and federal agencies concerned with the quality of human life, water, pollution, recreation, wildlife, fish, and fishing conditions in and around the lake, and to pass on to all government agencies on the local, state, or federal level any recommendations believed feasible and necessary to accomplish the purposes of this advisory committee. Little ad lib here. That is a lot of things to do for one group to do. It was basically created by the 3 counties. It's been funded by the counties over the years. It's done a pretty good job with a cadre of volunteers administering to our buoy marking system, as well as trying to keep up with the changing times and of the environmental aspects of the lake, HEV and hydro being the 2 main issues. So the LAAC subcommittees, there are 9 of them, all contribute to the annual report. And the report is basically compiled to convey a sense of how LAAC perceives lake issues and how they advise how to proceed on such matters. The subcommittees consist of communications, navigation and safety, water and environmental, government affairs, fishing, recreation, finance, the state park, roads, and development. I'm going to take a quick moment here as the chairman of that group to say our roads committee is open. If you have an interest in our roads around the lake, in which many of us should be, if you're a business person or a resident, the roads and the people that manage the roads, they could use all the help that they can get, ensuring that the roads are maintained and they're advised about situations that occur on these roads. As you know, the roads are being used more than ever right now. So if someone would like to be the subcommittee chairperson for the roads committee, please contact me. Okay, LAAC's most visible involvement around the lake is the administration of the hazard buoys and the no wake buoys, as well as hydrilla management efforts. There are currently 40 hazard buoys, 11 on Louisa side on the main lake, 19 on Spotsy main lake, and 10 on the waste heat treatment facility. Some of you like to call that the private side. There are 22 no-wake buoys maintained by LAAC, 8 in Louisa County and 14 in Spotsylvania County. Each year, LAAC spends over $2,500 maintaining the system of markers. That's the average budget. Sometimes we have to do more depending on how many buoys are run over or destroyed. Hydrilla management. In recent years, this has included the use of approved aquatic herbicides in freshwater creek. More recently this year, 500 grass-eating carp were stocked into freshwater creek, the back of. That was done back in, I think, March. Over $10,000 is spent during years of hydrilla treatment. That's $10,000. So there is an increasing need to administer to the lake. LAAC is doing the best it possibly can do given its budgets and its volunteers. The annual State of Lake Anna report is submitted to the Board of Supervisors for Orange, Louisa, and Spotsylvania counties. And it's just further consideration. We are nothing more than an advisory group. And again, we tend to a couple of things. Some of LAAC's 2020 recommendations include that Louisa, Orange, and Spotsylvania counties work in a more coordinated and equitable fashion to help LAAC administer the Lake Anna issues and needs, while LAAC will attempt to work more closely with county officials when appropriate to communicate lake issues. Lake Anna is a major, and I want to stress this, major economic engine for Louisa County. And it does its part for Orange and Spotsylvania counties through visitor and resident spending. All three counties would be wise to keep this golden goose well tended and healthy. Safety risk, environmental issues, as well as local government, transportation, communications, and recreation factors are all noted in the annual report. LAAC acts as a liaison, a buffer, a manager for the counties as long as communication is open and timely. So one of our major recommendations is communicate, and we have really very good communication with our county officials. When they hear from us, they communicate back, and action is taken. It's a good relationship. So the annual report not only demonstrates how LAAC is serving as an industry body, as an advisory body, it also displays a serious commitment by the volunteers and the appointees to watch over and administer to the lake. And that's reassuring to the counties that when they do fund LAAC, that taxpayer monies are spent responsibly, wisely. And in the end, they save the county's money. LAAC does things with volunteers that otherwise the county would have to do. I'm just reading through this. I think I could probably summarize it a little bit more and get to the next speaker. LAAC meets the fourth Wednesday of every month on a rotating basis at venues in all three counties. Members of the public are welcome to attend and speak during the public comment at each meeting. Where do you know we're meeting? Okay, I'm gonna head that fact off. Frequently asked question. Right now, you would look at one of the county's websites, and on those websites, you would find a little tab for LAAC, and then you would find out where we're meeting. So that is it on LAAC. Are there any questions regarding LAAC?
I have a question.
We do have a question. Okay, so this question is from Jenny Garfinkel. Hello, a hydroa question. We are on a cove opposite Sturgeon Creek. We get hydroa each year. A couple years ago, I sent the requested picture in on hydroa, but never heard back. How can we get hydroa treatment? We are about a dozen homes on this cove. All right, so to respond to the good question is this. One, we first have to identify 100% that it's hydraulic, because there are other aquatic weeds that grow in the lake. They're native, such as Virginia water willow, which is a shoreline emerging grass, which is incredibly important to our ecosystem here, our aquatic ecosystem. Two, you have something called naiad. A lot of people call it skunkweed. It smells a little like garlic, and that is often mistaken as hydrilla. So the first thing we need to do is identify it as hydrilla. And we have John Cassell, who is the subcommittee chairman for hydro and environmental. He would be, or one of our other people would come out and identify it. And at that point, we would put it into the hydro management plan, which is an annual procedure or protocol, and determine whether it's enough to spot treat, which generally we don't spot treat. We treat certain areas, or whether there's another way that we need to treat it. So that may not exactly answer or give you the result you want, but the first thing again is identification. So when we get this hydro occurrence again, make sure that we get somebody out there to, I see you send a requested picture in on the hydro, but never heard back. That would be unusual, because most of the time, every single lead is chased down and checked. So I would say maybe contact me and we'll get you in touch with John Cassell. You can contact me at lklife@earthlink.net. Are there any more questions for that?
There's another question.
Okay, so
Oh, that's for the person.
we do have a question, but that is not going to be addressed at this time, because that is not with the segment. This segment is on LAAC, so we will definitely get to that question at some point, because I'm sure that would be interesting to other people. Because I also think Kevin Marshall will have a time to he's on our itinerary, so he will comment. So with that being said, I've had my time. Lindsay, would you like to introduce our next speaker?